वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. Chapter 2 and verse 31st. स्वधर्मम् अपि चावेक्ष्य स्वधर्मम् अपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्यादियुद्धाश्रेयम् धर्म्यादियुद्धाश्रेयम् अन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते अन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते. अन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते. Right. Bhagavan says to Arjun, looking at your own duty as well, you should not weaken, for there is nothing more meritorious to a person of the warrior class, Kshatriya, than a righteous war. If you are from warrior class, it is your duty, it's your duty for the righteous war. So, as we know that Arjun was grieved by apprehending the death of his kinsmen and preceptors, all the relatives, in-laws, so and so. Moreover, he was afraid that sin would accrue to him by killing them, and that sin would lead him to hell. Yeah. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna preached this gospel, this Bhagavad Gita, in the 11th to the 13th verses. Now he starts the worldly standpoint. Okay. First he has told about the spiritual world, or what's going to happen after the death, this and that. But now the worldly point. And reminds Arjun's duty as a member of warrior class. Swadharmam apichaveksha na vikampitum arhasi. Man, soul, Atma, is a fragment of God. What we call Atma te Paramatma. Right? And Bhagavan has very clearly mentioned it. Mamaivaamso jivaloke jivabhutas sanatanaha. In 15th chapter, yeah. So, man is a fragment of God. But by identifying himself with the body. It's everybody's story, it's my story, it's your story, everybody's story. Okay? And Bhagwan is explaining this from the practical point of view. And I always keep on telling that in all Gita class since years together, that yes, it is for the Gita. It is for the Arjun, the whole Gita. But keeping Arjun in mind, right? Bhagwan thought about all of us. And that's why, okay, even if it is 5,000 year back, okay, after 5,000 or maybe another 5,000 year, this will remain and this will guide everybody. So, unfortunately, by identifying himself with the body, nothing himself as a Brahman, the priest class, or a Kshatriya of the warrior class, etc., he has to discharge his duty. If I am born in warrior class, what is my duty? If I am born in priest class, what is my duty? I have to perform that duty. I have to stick to that duty. So he has to discharge his duty as a member of that particular class. I mean, I have mentioned this again in previous classes also, but we are human, so we forget very easily. Okay. When people in the society or the community they always looking forward to put the whole our dharma, our Hinduism, to put down, to paint bad, okay, and then they give the example of Mahabharata, and they will say so many people have lost their lives in the war of Mahabharata. And now you criticize this war. Answer is very simple. Those who were there, or those who died, or those who have lost their lives, they were all the armies. Not even one single civilian was killed. That is important. That's we need to know. And the moment you join army, you have to prepare yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. That can happen because I have chosen this path. So answer is very simple when somebody criticizes about Mahabharata. Not even a single civilian was killed. Yes, hundreds, thousands of people, lost their life. So that we must not forget. So, duty. It is Kshatriya, the warrior class members' duty to fight, to protect the righteousness. Similarly, one who acknowledging himself as a teacher or a father has to discharge the duty of a teacher or a father. It applies to all of us. Here, the duty of a Kshatriya has been called dharma, righteousness. Dharma not necessarily mean or limited by only the rituals, or dharma does not necessarily mean by the set of rituals. Fulkankune chokha. But varasma ek katha to karavu. It's fine, good. Must do that. But that does not prove you dharmic or the religious. Maro kehvano matlab hai. Don't get me wrong. Okay. So the duty of a Kshatriya has been called dharma, the righteousness. It is the foremost duty of a Kshatriya not to flee from the war front. Don't escape. Kshatriya should not escape from the war. For a Kshatriya, dharma, the righteousness is upheld by waging war. There is not even a single scripture under the sky except the Bhagavad Gita that assured the human, when I say human, Arjun, that even by fighting, you will get liberated. You'll prove yourself for the liberation. That's the Bhagavad Gita. For the saying, it's always looks very sweet. No, 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 no. There is a difference. There's a difference that we must know at least, because we are the student of Bhagavad Gita. So, by fighting war, Bhagavan Krishna asks to discharge the duty. He should never avoid that duty. He should not escape from the duty. Dharmyadi yuddhat shreyam anyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Okay, bye. There is nothing more welcome to a man of the warrior class than a righteous war. Fight for the dharma, fight for the righteous thing, which is his main duty, according to chapter 18, verse 43. Okay, it will come after a couple of years. Okay, similar is the case with the people of other class, the priest, the business, and the all classes. Okay, Arjun in the 7th verse of the 2nd chapter requested Bhagavan Krishna to tell him what is good for him. 30. And the 7th verse, Arjuna has told, Yat Shreyam Nishchatam Bruhitan me Shishyasteham Sadhimam Tvam Prabannam Karpanya Dosho Pahatasvabhavah Pruchami Tvam Dharma Samhuda Chetah. That's the 7th verse in the same chapter, in the chapter 2. So, Arjun himself has requested to Bhagavan Krishna to tell him what is good for him. Yat Shreyam, by performing that particular action which will lead me on my development, on my religious or my spiritual progress. Okay. In response to his request, Bhagavan Krishna tells him that he would attain salvation, liberation, by performing his duty of waging a righteous war. So, now he should not retreat. Point of no return. He should not retreat from it. Having described the discrimination between Deh and Dehi, body and self, Sharir and Shariri. Sharir is body, Shariri, Atma, self. Bhagwan, from this verse to the 38th verse, from this verse, 31st, okay, till the 38th verse, describes the performance of one's duty. The reason is that the supreme truth, which is realized by the discrimination between they and dehi, the same supreme truth can be realized by the proper use of the body, by performing one's duty. The body, the sharir or the deh is not bad. Okay? Sariram idam khalu dharma sadharam. Since we have got the body, we can perform or we can discharge our duties. If there is no body, then we can't do that. So, it's fine. But we must know that body is not me. Deh and Dehi. Dehi is self or the Atma, and Deh is body or the Sharir. Okay? The truth can be realized by the proper use of the body. So we have got the body. Bhagwan has blessed us with the body. Now it's our duty to use it properly. We have a choice whether to attend the Geeta class or whether to spend time with the WhatsApp or the YouTube. Choice. How we using our body, how we using our time. So, by performing one's duty in discrimination, knowing is important, and in performance of one's duty, doing is important. Okay. Need to think about knowing and doing. Okay. Knowing is one thing, but the important is doing. Okay. I have described so many times about the buddhi, the intellect, buddhivadi, buddhijivi, and buddhinishtha. Okay. Three kind of intellect, three kind of people we will find in the society and our community. We come across with these three kind of people. Buddhivadi, they got the intellect, but they will use their intellect in just or mere arguing. Yes. Others, buddhijivi, they got the intellect and they will use for their survival. Use it. Use it, right? You don't know how to read Sanskrit. You don't know what is all about Bhagavad Gita. And if I know, so I will open up the class. Okay? Then every Wednesday you can join the excellent teaching of Bhagavan Krishna. Okay? Only 99 cents per class. And then escalation every month, every year 10%. That's buddhijivi. That's buddhijivi. Bhagavan has given me something little extra. I should use it for the society, for the community. And then buddhinishtha. I have understood this, the principle of life. I must put this in action. That is buddhinishtha. And that's why I always share with you. Gnanam bhara kriya vihina. Gnan, knowledge. Bhar, burden. Kriya, action. Vihina, without any action. One might have knowledge, maybe a knowledgeable person. He might be worshipped among the society for his knowledge. But that knowledge is not converted in action or transformed into action, then he is or she is just carrying the burden of knowledge. So Buddhist will put in action, will apply what knowledge, what we have understood, what made him to convince himself, then put in action. Okay? So, though discrimination is important for a man, as it is useful for him in practical and spiritual life, and also in this world as well as the other world, yet the Bhagwan mentions performance of duty performance of one's duty for the person who does not understand the discrimination between the body and self, so that instead of becoming a scholar by processing bookish knowledge, he may realize the truths. It means that a person who wants to know Godhead but without having a keen intellect and a keen self-denial, detachment, okay, could not know him by the discipline of knowledge. He can know the Supreme Soul by the discipline of action. Okay, that has mentioned in chapter 5, verse 4 and 5th. Okay, Sankhya Yoga Prusagbala Pravadanti na Panditaha Ekamapyasita Samyak Abhayor Vindate Phalam. Only the ignorant speak of Sankhya, renunciation of action, or Karma Sannyas, and Karma Yoga, work in devotion, as different. Those who are truly learned say that by applying ourselves to any one of these paths, we can achieve the results of both. In the same chapter, in the 5th verse, Bhagavan says, Yat Sankhya Prapyate Sthanam Tadyogairapin Gamyate Ekam Sankhyam Cha Yogam Cha Yah Pashyati Sapashyati. Action, knowledge, both are equally important. You can't discard just one thing, you need both. That's why knowledge should be converted in action. Okay, so what it says here, Ekam Sankhyam Cha Yogam Cha Yah Pashyati Sapashyati. The supreme state that is attained by means of karma sannyas is also attained by working in devotion. Hence, those who see karma sannyas and karma yoga to be identical truly sees things as they are. Arjun was a Kshatriya, member of warrior class. Therefore, the Bhagavan has mentioned the duty of a Kshatriya. In fact, here the duty of a Kshatriya is the denotion for the duties of the fourfolded system of the society. Therefore, it means that the members of other, such as Brahman, member of priest class, etc., should also discharge their duty. It doesn't only apply to Kshatriya or the warrior class. Everybody got his or her duty, and he or she is bound to do that. Should also discharge their duty. Swadharma, that is known as Swadharma, one's own duty, has been mentioned, and of course again in chapter 18, verse 42. So, Swabhav karma, Sahaj karma, Swadharma, Swakarma, all meaning is almost the same, that discharge one's duty for the welfare of others by renouncing selfishness, pride, and the desire for fruit is performing Swadharma. Discharge of Swadharma, one's duty, is Karma Yoga. Right. So, in this verse 31, basically Bhagavan wants to engage him for his duty. Bhagavan really does not want Arjun to escape from this battlefield. Okay, we're going to conclude little early today. Okay, in today's talk, whatever you like, whatever you enjoyed, whatever you understood, credit goes to all the saint, all the great men, all the scripture, whatever I have heard, I have read, I have studied. Absolutely nothing belongs to me. And as usual, I would like to take an opportunity to tell you that our main reference book for this Gita class since the beginning is Swami Ram Sukhdas ji's Sadhak Sanjeevani. Okay, we will be reciting the 73rd verse of chapter 18 and followed by the Arati. नष्टो मोहः स्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव.